Good morning, beautiful souls. Today is day 2 of the Memorial Day event. I am a little tired, but so excited. So I'm way more excited than tired. A little tired though. And I am thinking about running to get a coffee. I don't know if it's a good idea. I think that it would give me a little bit of energy, but I'm trying to be less dependent on coffee and drink more water. But I might just make an exception, and today I still drink coffee here and there, probably like once every 2 weeks, so it's not a daily thing anymore. Sorry, this is probably really boring. I'm just gonna say an update on yesterday. So yesterday was the first day of the event, and I'm so grateful for the souls I got to connect with. It's always such an honor, like when someone is willing to be open and be open to the communication, be open to me connecting with them, letting me bring through their loved ones' messages, letting me blend with the spirit world and deliver pieces of information about their loved one. It's just such a wonderful opportunity to do the work, but also to see healing happen, like to see what's possible. Like that's the part, the communication is part of it, but so much more than the communication, like the words that are spoken about the loved one, is that feeling that happens when you're just part of that mediumistic experience. I don't know that I'm explaining this as well as I want to, but when I can feel that love flowing from the spirit communicator to the recipient I'm sitting across from, I can feel that love, and I can feel this energy, this presence of the communicator. And oftentimes the sitter will tell me they can feel it also. So to me, that is one of the most incredible parts of a reading, is when the atmosphere changes and when it can be felt and acknowledged, like when the sitter notices the atmosphere change. I want to believe, I think it happens, the atmosphere changes all the time. I don't know. I know sometimes it's more felt, like sometimes I feel it more than other times. I feel like I feel it more and more as my mediumship grows and develops and evolves and changes. But sometimes the recipient, I know, doesn't feel it. Like sometimes I'll even ask if they feel any changes around them. But it doesn't mean that it isn't changing. It just means sometimes they're not aware of it. Because I know that things have changed. Like I know from my own experience, things have changed sometimes and I'm not always aware of the changes. But then all of a sudden I'll notice it. I'm like, oh, it's been that way all the time. I'm just now noticing it. I am so sorry if this doesn't make sense. But I'm basically just talking about feeling the presence of a spirit person around, noticing them closer, feeling their presence. And it's really all about awareness, like increasing our sensitivity, increasing our awareness. And in a world where often we're feeling like we're too sensitive, or people are telling us we're too sensitive, or we're trying to shut down our sensitivity, for there to be a space for more sensitivity to be welcome, for there to be a place and a space. And I just noticed that I'm driving, I'm hands-free, like I've got both hands on the wheel, but I noticed someone was really close to me and it made me nervous, so I put my blinker on, because I'm gonna turn. And sorry about that little tangent. I don't know how to edit yet, so that's gonna stay in there. But I wanna say, those atmospheric changes, those subtle changes in feeling their presence closer, like that is something I want to understand better, and I want to help sitters, recipients, clients. I want to help them be more aware of that. So I want to find a way to put that in my, I think I talk about it briefly in my intro, but sometimes I do, sometimes I skip it. But I think that I want to, find a way to more clearly than I am in this video succinctly explain that, because I think when people just focus on the evidence and just focus on the words, they're missing a lot of the mediumistic experience. So I went off on a whole tangent. I wanted to do an update on yesterday. Yesterday was wonderful. I had an amazing day. I felt like the contacts were really good. I felt like people really felt the healing, like felt the change. And I remember, specifically I remember 2 women who had like looked at my information, didn't seem too interested, no big deal. I just politely, I talked to them and then they moved on. They didn't want to sign up for my email list. Like it just didn't seem like they resonated with my work and or me or whatever. It was fine. Like it was no big deal. Like I'm there to see, like there's so many people, like I'm just there to be there and answer questions, and the right people will find me. Anyway, long story short, they did circle back and come back to my booth, and then there's 2, they both did a reading, and then they started bringing people back to my booth. So it went from I felt like there was very little resonance with, I don't know, I just felt like a guarded energy, and I felt, which I understand, and it was totally fine, but it just turned around to being really incredible readings, and then they brought all these people to me and then signed up for my list, and I just am so grateful. I'm just so grateful people trust, they take that leap of faith and try a reading. And I priced them really affordably for $25 for 15 minutes. So I priced them really affordably, so it wouldn't be a big expense if they weren't happy with it. And if someone's not happy with it, I'm just going to refund them, because I guess it depends. I mean, if I bring through a lot of contacts and then they really are obviously recognizing the people and it's a successful reading, and then if they're just wanting their money back because that's what they do, like the person who eats 70% of their meal and then wants the restaurant to comp their meal, I don't thankfully have that. I haven't really experienced that, so I'm thankful for that. But if someone's genuinely not happy and they're not getting connections, then I'm just not going to charge them. It's so easy just to be just move on to the next person. There's always people on the list. There's always other contacts. Sometimes we just can't read for certain people. And if there are any developing mediums watching this, just know that that's a really good thing to learn when you're just finding a contact isn't working for whatever reason. It's really not even important in that moment. You can reflect later and kind of do some self-analysis on why it didn't work. But if you're at an event and you're noticing a contact's not working, the best thing you can do is say, I'm sorry, I don't think I'm the medium for you. This isn't working today, and just give them their money back. Because the sooner you move your energy onto the next contact, the next person, the next client, sitter, the better it's going to be for everyone. Because if you're stumbling through it and really struggling, and I don't mean those first couple of minutes where you just feel like you're not getting anything, maybe you're a little nervous, maybe you haven't done a lot of events, there's a big difference between that and then just having a flow of really good readings, and all of a sudden you get someone you can't read for. Perfectly okay. I had one reading yesterday that I was really, I kind of wondered if I was just going to have to be I'm sorry, I don't think I'm the medium for you, because it just felt like this person was really guarded, really not open to what I was, the messages I was giving them. They didn't seem very happy sitting there. But I just carried on. In that instance, there was enough stuff being validated. I did carry on. I was a little concerned she was going to express not being happy. And I was okay with just doing a partial payment or whatever, negotiating something. I would be fine with that. But she was really she seemed happy enough with it to refer a friend. She told her friend, you should do it. So sometimes we can't always, I do feel like I have a good feeling about people's experience, but sometimes we don't know. I mean, sometimes there's reasons why they have a guardedness, and So I just offer that because sometimes, I know for myself, sometimes I believe the reading's not going as well, and the person really is receiving what they need. That's the other thing. It's not always what the person wants, it's what they need to receive in that moment. So it's really important as the medium that you recognize that as well too, that this is about healing. This is healing work. If that's your intention, that's my intention always, is about healing work. So the client, the sitter, will get what Spirit brings forward. I will deliver everything to the best of my ability, but it's going to be led by Spirit, driven by Spirit, like all the information that comes forward, and it's about their healing. So sometimes it's not the thing they want to talk about most, it's not what's top of mind for them, but it is something that needs to come forward for their healing. So very important point. And I feel like this is turning into a much longer video than I intended, so I'm just gonna say I'm about halfway to the event for day 2, Memorial Day weekend, and I am going to take the next remaining amount of time just to sit and drive, and also just to send some thoughts to the spirit world. So as a working medium, like, one thing that's very important to do is to spend time with Spirit outside of the communication, outside of the time with clients, to spend time with Spirit, sending our thoughts, our gratitude, our love, our intentions for the day, requests that we have. I'd really love to work on names today and have some names come through. I hope that is something that will happen. I won't try or effort or push for names, but I'll just, right now as I blend and connect with Spirit on the drive. And that doesn't mean I'm in a meditative state. I'm driving, I'm aware, but I'm also letting my mind to focus on the road, but another part, a higher part, my soul part, is just spending that time preparing with Spirit. And I will ask for names to come in, and then whatever happens, like, I'm not attached to the outcome. If names don't come in, that's okay, but I continually keep setting that request for Spirit to teach me how to receive more names, to teach me how to be more open for names. So if you found any of this information helpful and you want to like and comment on my video, I would love that. If you're interested, I will be teaching a beginner mediumship course in the fall. So I am co-teaching with an incredible medium, and I'll be announcing more about that later. I don't want to make this even longer than it is, but if you're interested in mediumship and the development of mediumship and the expansion of our sensitivities and want to learn more about that, that's what I'll be sharing on my channel. Also, I do share quite a bit about my journey and my journey with my animals. So there's a little bit of different content on here. It's not all mediumship, but it's basically sharing my journey and my development. So thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you. I'm so happy you're here. And if you made it this far, just know you have my gratitude. If you want to send me a comment in the comments, I love to see those, but I do know this is a young channel, a new channel, and it's just very exciting to be on this journey. Thank you for being here.